on the road to WAC Vegas. We ring in the new year with our first week of conference play, and there are plenty of big matchups from the jump. Plus, we'll visit with Abilene Christian head coach Brette Tanner, who is in his first year at the helm of the Wildcats and has ACU prepping for another Cinderella run. That's all ahead on this New Year's edition of the Road to WAC Vegas.
New Mexico State going on to the tournament. Just a phenomenal game. What college basketball is all about.
Welcome to the Road to WAC Vegas. I'm Kendra Sheehan. We're a little more than 2 months away from the WAC basketball tournament at the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. Conference play begins this week as we celebrate 2022. Grand Canyon opens conference play on Thursday night against Chicago State. And on January 15th, they'll be hosting a game on ESPNU. GCU's game against Tarleton will be on the U. That is a 7 p.m. Mountain Time tip. The Lopes are averaging more than 6,000 fans per game this year after making their first trip to the NCAA tournament in 2021. This is the first game at GCU to be televised live on an ESPN linear network. Congratulations to Dixie State head coach Jon Judkins, who recently won his 583rd career collegiate game. That makes him the all-time winningest coach in Utah collegiate history. Judkins also won his 300th game at Dixie State. That includes wins when the Trailblazers were at both the junior college and Division II levels before going to Division I. Dixie State is hosting Tarleton and Abilene Christian this week. ACU went on to the NCAA tournament as champions of the Southland Conference and then went on to upset Texas in the first round. Coming up next, we talk to ACU head coach Brette Tanner, who has the Wildcats near the top of the WAC standings. We'll be right back.
Fans, welcome back to WAC Vegas. As we celebrate more than a decade of madness at the Orleans Arena, the 2022 Hercules Tires WAC Basketball Tournament, March 9th through the 12th. In this year, there are even more games to watch, with 20 teams in Las Vegas. For ticket information, go to wacsports.com.
Welcome back to the Road to WAC Vegas. We have a special guest joining us, ACU men's basketball coach Brette Tanner. In his first season as head coach of the Wildcats, now I talked to you about 2 months ago at basketball preview days. How have you liked the gig so far?
So far, so good. There's times I wish I was still the assistant down there, man. Everybody blames me for all the mistakes now. I used to be able to make suggestions and nobody cared. They blamed it on the other guy. But other than that, it's been great, man.
What adjustments have you had to make that maybe you didn't expect to make when you took this job initially and I spoke to you 2 months ago to now just preparing for conference play?
Yeah, well, number one, the basketball part's easy. It's this part that I've never had to do. But I think, just to me, it's what I do, man. I've been doing it for 20 years. I think basketball is basketball. It's a little different now because I'm making maybe more decisions. But I was really fortunate to work for a guy who gave me a big part in the program anyway. And so I think that's really helped with the transition, not only for myself, but for our players.
Do you feel like your team is where it needs to be as we get into conference play very soon?
No, not even close, man. They've done a good job. I mean, we've had a pretty good, non-conference slate. We had a little bit of a hiccup where we got shut down for a week. And so we lost 3 really good games that we were looking forward to. And so we were only able to replace it with 1 since it was an MTE. But we've had a tough slate, but they've all been at home. And so it's been kind of, I'm proud of how we're playing, but it feels like we haven't been on the road for a long time. And we start conference play on the road against, 2 really good teams. And so, but you got to play the games, whether we're ready or not. I do feel like we've gotten better each game that we've played. And I think that's the whole key. I mean, you don't expect to be playing your best basketball yet. You hope to continue to get better each and every day.
You had mentioned when I spoke with you before about how excited you were to join the WAC. You were excited to play new teams, travel to new places, and give yourself a challenge. And you certainly have that your first conference game against UVU, a team that has proven themselves with a big win over BYU. What are you excited most about that first game in the WAC?
Well, I think just the challenge of it, I mean, just going out there, Coach Matson's a great coach. He's got really good players. And as everybody knows, I mean, they've proved themselves in the non-conference slate, but also last year, I mean, I think they're the co-WAC champs coming back. And so what a test, man. If you're going to get tested, might as well go get tested against the best, right off the bat. And so it's going to be fun. We're excited about it and ready to get going.
I think the front court was a big question mark this season. We had talked about that before. How have you adjusted your lineup, and do you feel like you have a good idea of who your starting five, your core five will be as you start conference play?
Yeah, we've made some changes here and there throughout the non-conference. I think it's going to continue all year that way. I think I'm really proud of the guys. We have some guys playing out of position. It is what it is, but that's going to be our whole team. We've always been undersized. I saw something, I think, the other day. We're the smallest team in Division I basketball. I don't, whatever that means, but we take some pride in that, I guess. It's kind of who we are and who we've always been. But, like I said, I'm proud of the guys. We got a lot of new guys playing in that spot. And we have our one returner that's starting for us at the center is not really a center, and he didn't play last year, really. So he's still a baby, and so he's growing up right in front of us. But I'm proud of how they're doing. We're relying a lot on our defense, like we always have, to score points, and hopefully we can keep doing that.
Who have you seen the most growth from, or who surprised you the most this season up until this point?
A few guys. I'm really proud of Cameron Steele, who is playing at the center for us, I guess, if you wanted to put a label on it. And he was not anticipating that when the year started, and neither were we. And he's like a freshman. I mean, he's a sophomore, but he's a freshman. He didn't play last year, really. And so I'm proud of him. I think he's done a great job. Makai Morris is a guy who's in our starting lineup that has never really got quality minutes here, and he's taken on a new role, and we really count on him, and he's done an unbelievable job. And then another player, Tobias Cameron, who's always just kind of played spot minutes for us, and he's still coming off the bench, but he's making big time plays for us. He's been a crucial part of every win that we've had.
And Corian Mason and Reggie Miller, two of the guys that were with you for that basketball preview days. What have you liked from them? Have you seen their role kind of step up as we progress through this season?
Yeah, they've done exactly, and I would throw Damian Daniels in that mix too. I think they've done exactly what was expected of them so far, and which is why I didn't mention them. To me, they're not a surprise. I think they bring it. They're everyday guys, man. They're undersized every night. They play with a chip on their shoulder, man. I think, but I would go to battle with those two guys and those three, if you count Damian, any day of the week. I'm super proud of them, and they're our leadership for sure. We go as they go.
You went on a bit of a win streak in this non-con slate. 2 losses at the start, but one, of course, was forcing overtime against Texas A&M. Do you feel like this non-conference slate has prepared you, made you battle tested and ready for the gauntlet that is the WAC?
I do. I think, and like I said, the schedule had to change a little bit because of that losing the Bahamas. But I think, we played 3 games in 6 days, even though they were nons. It's still kind of, we're going to play Thursdays and Saturdays, so it gave us that feel. But we have tested ourselves against good people. We played at Utah on the road, at Texas A&M on the road, at UT Arlington on the road. And then we've been at home against, Cal State Bakersfield, who is a really good team, as well as Drexel. I'm excited. I think we are prepared. What it's going to look like, I don't know. I've never been in the WAC, so we're about to find out.
Well, when you had mentioned before about joining the WAC and getting to go to new places, and you had a lot of friends in the league, what place are you most excited to visit that might not just be basketball related?
Yeah, I mean, well, we're not going to get to spend a whole lot of time outside of basketball.
That's true.
Really all of them. I don't look forward to going to any of them because I got to play somebody when we're there. But, but I'm excited about them all. I'm just looking forward to it. Like I said, I've got a lot of friends that are in the league, but there's a lot of coaches that I have never met before. And I'm excited to build new relationships with these guys and compete with them.
Well, that was head coach Brette Tanner for ACU men's basketball. Thank you so much for joining us. We wish you the best of luck on this conference, conference games coming up. So good luck with that. And coming up, we will discuss women's basketball. Conference play is about to get started, so stay with us. to the road to WAC Vegas. Utah Valley center Josie Williams is pulling down more than 12 rebounds per game this season. That puts her in the top 5 in the nation in that category. California Baptist guard Ane Oleta is averaging more assists per game than any player in the country. The grad student from Spain dishes out more than 8 assists per contest. All season long, we'll have contests on our social media accounts to win tickets to WAC Vegas. So make sure you're checking those so you can be a part of the madness. That does it for this episode of Road to WAC Vegas. We'll be at the Orleans Arena in just 10 weeks. See you then, everybody. Have a happy and safe New Year's.